Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Who Crew Uncensored. We have a very special guest this evening. Actually, we have two special guests, one especially. I'm going to start with introducing Louie, and Louie's here. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Oh, thanks for letting me return.
Yes, of course, anytime, and thank you for coming back on. And we have at least my buddy. I don't know how people are. I don't want to speak for them in this cast or whatever with things, but I've been a fan of Jacob. I like Jacob and his buddy Clark and their shows that they do. So check out their channels and please, Jacob, give a plug for your channel on YouTube and Clark. And well, it's Galaxy Man Show
Yeah.
for Jacob and for
Hello
Clark.
guys, how's it going?
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming on, Jacob. I appreciate it, man. So I understand that you had some things you wanted to get off your chest. So we are going to give Jacob the respect that he
Yeah, I
has
do.
to say. And no joking aside, I'm not going to put up with any bullshit from anybody. I want to hear what Jacob has to say about things. So go ahead, Jacob.
Okay, I just feel that this whole war type, Hoovian war type thing is just utter ridiculous, and that we're all Hoovians out there, and we all need to just grow the F up and talk about Doctor Who and everything, even including, I'm gonna call him the real host, because he's much of a real host like you guys are.
Okay.
He's not like
Yeah.
a fake host. He's a real host like you guys.
Okay.
And he sometimes makes mistakes, but we are all humans. We all make mistakes, and he just makes mistakes sometimes too. It's not a bad thing that he makes mistakes. It's just that he makes mistakes sometimes. It's not a bad thing, and it's just stupid with this whole who wars type thing. Why can't we all just get along and just talk about who? That's what we're all here for. We all are united in Doctor Who communities and other Doctor Who things like conventions and things. And yeah, that's why I want to get off my plate. And I don't have a problem with any of you guys on this cast. Neither with the other cast. So, guys, you guys are awesome, and yeah, sometimes we don't see our differences, and sometimes we joke around and crap, but yeah, you guys are all cool.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, Jacob, and I appreciate that statement with things, and I would love that to happen as well within the community. I guess I want to start with I've heard some pretty strong things from you about like talking about we're fake and
Yeah,
you know. And I'm sorry,
yeah,
your computer sometimes is like a little bit loud, so I'm trying to talk
yeah.
to you about
I'm gonna go on mute for a
that.
minute.
So I guess while he's off right now, I guess like I'll get the consensus of the guest panel here and ask Connor and Louie, like, are there any particular issues that you guys have with Jacob with things, or some things he said, or
Well, like I've said before on yesterday's show, watch it out. Watch it, it's very good. That I was brought into this community completely like brainwashed, saying Jacob's a troll, Jacob's a creep, he raped my kids. That was what fake host said. That telling us that he threatened to rape his kids and he was making fun of his girlfriend and he photoshopped pictures. He was basically this evil poison of the community. And if I was told very clearly, if you go on his show, you're out. Because Jacob added me as a friend via Google Plus
yeah.
Hangouts, and I just said, "Oh, do you know who this guy Jacob is?" And he was like, "You go on there, and I swear to God, he's evil. He ruined lives. He ruins Christmases." So I just quit. He was like, block him, block him, block him. So I did it, and then like, once all of that stuff blew over, and he was so desperate for people to come on, he forgave Jacob. That I got speaking to him, and he was really nice, and I have no problems. I just don't like at the minute. I haven't really been speaking to him because I don't want to be involved with all this trolling and fake accounts and stuff. But I've got no problems with Jacob. I think he's a nice guy, and I think he's got this reputation that's undeserved to him. He doesn't deserve the hate he gets for this troll and this parasite, and because he's not like that. And yeah, I like Jacob. I'm fine with Jacob. I just don't like it when he gets easily manipulated, and I feel sorry for him when he gets controlled, and he may not think it because he's not being told, but he's being pushed into doing stuff that I know he doesn't want to do. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm trying to hang in there with Jacob like you, Louie. I believe that what you said is correct. That, like myself, I know I've been around in the cast for like a long time, and I even told Jacob in the group chat that I feel a bit embarrassed within the community, but it's the truth, so I can't be embarrassed by the truth that I stuck up for the fake host for a long time, and there were things that occurred that changed my mind about what kind of character he had, and you know, that's my story. I'm not sure what Jacob, his dealings are with the fake host. I know that there were some times way back when he was trolling the fake host and said some very, 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 very personal and hurtful things to fake host's girlfriend. And, pardon me, I know that there were some things ongoing that he said about things, but I know that he came back for a while when I was on the show, and I've never had a problem with the guy. I've never had a personal... There have been times where, like, I believe Connor and I have kind of, like, messed around with him and Clark, and they messed around with us, but to me it was all in good fun. It wasn't anything meant to be spiteful or hurtful.
Like banter.
Exactly. Now, Connor, what do you think?
I've never had a problem with Jacob. I know now, particularly, that most of the perception in the community of Jacob has been unfairly painted by the fake host. I know that there's history between the two, you know, like you said in the past with the stuff about his girlfriend, his kids, you know, just his entire family.
Yeah.
But I mean, recently Jacob hasn't gone that route again. He's treaded very carefully about what he says, I believe. So I don't see why some of the comments, particularly I've seen from fake host, have been said in, you know, private chats, you know, group chats.
Yeah.
Where he's been called all sorts, like a sick fuck, mental, you know, a troll. You know, it's all undeserved, you know, hate from fake host, what he's actually used to giving out, quite surprisingly. So I don't have a problem with Jacob at all.
Yeah, I wish that Jacob would maybe take a step back and kind of like reevaluate the standing of the people in this community and what's going on, the people that have actually supported him. And for example, I'm going to talk about myself for a moment and say that when Fake Host told me that he was going to allow Jacob to come back into the cast that he did, I was very accepting of him coming back, and I was aware of things that Fake Host had told me that Jacob had done in the past, but I did not let that cloud my judgment for the fact of letting the guy come back on. And I understand that people sometimes they are a little bit off about how people really are, and I did not want to be swayed by all the people in the community that had such a hatred for Jacob. And I've had nothing but good dialogue with Jacob. and he brought his friend Clark into the community, and from the get-go, I was encouraging of Clark, and I said, hey, like I watched your videos, I'm a fan, I enjoyed watching the videos that both of them did, and I know that Connor and I have heard very specifically some things where they've called us out on some stuff over the last couple of months, and I don't really understand where that's coming from personally between them and Connor and I, because I've been nothing but encouraging of both Jacob and Clark. Now, I understand if Jacob, and I don't want to speak for Clark, so I'm going to stop talking about Clark at this point, but I understand if Jacob, because he's told me as much, has had, he's showing allegiance to fake host. And that's, that's fine. I mean, I was there with you, man. I understand that. You were me about a year ago. But I actually had to see what was going on with this fake host, both on air and behind the scenes, to realize I was really in the wrong with how that person does things. And I like to be real. I like to be honest, truthful, and blunt. I know that threatens a lot of people. Whenever people are honest, because we live in a world where people play the game, they go along with what role they have to play, they ostracize who they need to move ahead or to get their agenda, and I understand that.
I've got to say though, Mike, sorry to interrupt.
No, yes sir, yes sir. Go ahead.
And Mike. Yeah, I've got to say, it is pretty ridiculous how some people in the community do put pressure on the fake host, what you guys call him. But yeah, I've got to say he is a pretty cool guy. Even though he was a dick back in the past, I've got to admit, but he's kind of changed now. I see change in him. And if people, viewers and subscribers that are watching this, there is change in him. He can be good at some point. So that's what I want to say. I don't know, viewers and subscribers, follow your heart. And yeah, just follow your heart and watch any shows out there, because there's great shows out there these days on YouTube. And
yes.
Yeah, the Who Crew is a good show, and of course, this other guy is a good show. What they call in the fake host. He has a good show. Only when he's not talking crap about people. Yes, that's true. I have a good show, the Galaxy Man show. Clark. Louie has a good show. I think you do a show, don't you, still, Louie?
Yeah, the Who's Opinion. Thanks for mentioning that. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, whose opinion?
Yeah.
We're big fans of them.
You can all join in. Everyone.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jacob, honestly,
of course, the Who show.
Yeah, and the Who show. Galaxy Man, Clark
Yeah,
Channel.
the Who show.
Who show. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm not trying to start shit here, but I really, I don't want us to be a fluff cast here.
Yeah.
I really want to, because you said that you had a lot to say, and I really haven't heard a lot from you, to be honest with you, Jacob. I really want to get down.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't really want to get. I don't really want to get ripped to shreds by you, because I do have some really harsh words to say about you guys. You, Mikey, and.
Well, Jacob, I can speak for myself and say that I am willing to give you the floor. I'm not going to rip anyone to shreds. I do not do that.
Okay.
Unless,
okay.
And give me about a minute, and I'll be glad to go for 2 hours listening to what you have to say about things. You know me well enough to know I'm a blunt guy. I respect bluntness. If you're blunt with me, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to listen to it and I'm going to evaluate what you have to say. I'm not waiting for a chance to insult someone or to put them down or to be a dick for no reason. I only call people out on things if I see that it's not consistent with the truth. So I have no problem with you, and right now, get off your chest what you have to, and I'm going to make sure that on this cast, you are respected by me and everyone else. So right now, tell us what's on your mind, because you're a friend of mine as far as I feel with things. So if you have a problem with me, let me know it. Let's talk about it. It's just act like it's you and me right now.
I feel like you guys are putting pressure on Matrix Lord. Sorry I'm saying his real name and that, but I feel like you guys are putting pressure on Matrix Lord. It's putting pressure on him, and maybe that's why he's getting stressed at you guys and saying stuff and saying crap all about you guys and some other people that say stuff about him, and it's just going back and forth like with you guys and Matrix Lord, and it's just utter ridiculous. And I feel like he's being victimized, and you guys are being victimized, and other people are being victimized, and I just want this stupid who wars type stuff to stop, because I'm getting so freaking stressed about this stupid who wars shit, and it's just so freaking stupid. It's like, come on guys, we can all get along here. The Whovians are doing great with their show, and Matrix Lord's doing great with his show. Yes, he is. Don't blame me if I'm getting it wrong, and if you guys hate me for saying Matrix Lord's doing great, but he is doing great, and you guys are doing great too with your show if you guys talk about Doctor Who and stuff, also. And that's all I have to say, so there you guys go. Just talk about Who, people. Talk about Who, instead of all this stupid crap and about other people and stuff. It's just so stupid, because no one would want to join a show that, if you're gonna rip someone to shreds and just take the shit out of them, basically. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, Connor, Louie?
Well, may I start off by saying that I think the purpose of this show is not just solely on Fakehurst. The first few shows have been about him because he's been the one that has been going after Mike and I, and we've learned certain things about him. We've heard stories about him. We've allowed guests on to talk about him, about their experiences with him, because they have come to us with their experiences, and they've said that they need people to know this, to be aware of this person's behaviour. So the purpose of this show is not solely on him, and it's not to rip anyone to shreds. All we want to do is to stop the Fakehurst from what we have experienced and what others have experienced, using people and manipulating them for his own reasons, which he has done. I don't think anyone at the moment can deny that. And if anyone can, feel free to come on or whatever, or in the group chat.
I'm kind of, if I may, Connor, real quick, I'm kind of curious. I want to ask Jacob why he thinks that you and I and David Anderson left the show.
Why left the show and stuff?
Yes, sir.
Probably because, I don't know, probably because he wanted to leave, and because you guys were getting victimized by him, probably, who knows.
Victimized.
Yeah.
So what makes you say that?
I don't know. I don't know. You guys seem to be like victimized against Matrix Lord for some stupid reason, and I don't know why. You guys can have your issues with Matrix Lord, but I feel like you guys are like, instead of him victimizing you guys are kind of victimizing him in a way and putting pressure on him So yeah, I'd say grow the F up and stop victimizing Matrix Lord. And that's all I have to say.
Well, I've got a question for you. So, you've got a lot of friends, probably, right, Jacob?
Okay.
Like do you have like
Yes, I've got a lot of friends.
like a clique of friends, like a group? So if one of those friends,
Yes, I've got a group. Yes, I've got a group.
I'm not like being insulting. I'm not being sarcastic or anything. I'm trying to set up like what the point I'm trying to make here, that you probably have a
They're
good.
good friends. They're friends.
Yes,
They're very good.
yes, yes. You got a good group of mates.
Yes, we all
buddies.
accept each other's influence.
Yes. Now, if one of the group of friends of yours that you've been really, really good, loyal friends with and supported them started saying things behind your back about you, and
Yep.
on top of that, not even you, but other people that are in your group of friends, after a while, if that started affecting your friendship with that person, because you're seeing that they're being very disingenuous with the rest of your friends, would that not bother you?
No, not really. I'd still be friends with that person. I'd be actually kind and nice to that person, more kind and understanding and accepting to that person.
Okay. So
And
judging
not
by
mean and rude to that person and make stupid casts like this, I'm gonna say. So,
okay, well,
off
hey,
the Who show, I mean the Who crew.
fair enough. Fair enough. That's fine.
Yeah.
I just want to be sure, because I mean I want to understand, because like in my world, the planet I live on, if I have a group of people that are friends of mine, and I've got a friend like say Connor, and I've been friends with Connor. Connor was getting bullied or whatever, and I stuck up for him, supported him, and we've been good buddies for a while. And Connor started talking a lot of shit about Louie and trying to create some strife between Louie and I, to use that analogy. Would you feel making that applicable to your group of friends, would that be a problem for you? Would you not see that may lead to some issues or complications?
Not really, no, not really, because I'd still stick with my friends. If they're being mean to another friend or rude to another friend, I'd still be their friend because they might need help or something. Maybe they're going through depression or something like that. I'd still stick by them.
Okay.
And
Well,
that's what I would do.
Well, see, that explains a lot to me. I understand now, because, like, to me, no offense, but apparently you and I have totally different definitions for who friends are. Because if I'm a friend to you, Jacob, I've actually stuck up for you when people have talked shit about you, including Fake Ghost, when they've talked shit about you to me behind your back. And I apologize.
Did I tell you to defend? Did I tell you to defend me? Can I say, did I tell you to defend me? No, I did not tell you to defend me. I don't really need help defending because I'm my own person and I can defend my own stuff. But that's what you guys don't get.
Well, you're correct about the fact. One thing, Jacob, you're correct about the fact that if you're saying that you're a friend of mine and a friend of somebody else, but part of being a friend to someone, whether you understand it or not, is I'm going to stick up for people who are not being friends because of their actions. And if somebody is going to be saying very, very bad things about a mutual friend of mine and yours behind their back, I'm going to stick up for them. That's what a friend is. That's part of what being a quote-unquote friend is. So, Connor, Louie, do you want to jump in here and say something?
Could I say some stuff?
Of course, yeah.
Thanks. I've got a couple of questions for Jacob. I know this is an attack of one. Is that actually Freeman Agilon did was that workshop. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, she was actually really nice to me.
Did you? Wait, hold on, Louie.
Hold on.
Hold on. Jacob, tell me you got to fuck Freema.
Yes.
You did, awesome.
No, I didn't get to. No,
Oh,
I didn't get to. I wish I did. I wish I did.
we all do, man. She's hot.
Okay,
That's awesome.
my child.
Sorry, Louie. Go ahead, man.
No, it's fine. You just ruined my childhood. No, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I have respect for Jacob, but this is just my opinion, remember, so not everyone else's. But Jacob, I think that Fake Host Juju is a bit of an idiot. I think he values as a bit of an idiot because think about it like this in perspective. This time, like 2 years ago, last year, he despised you. You were like this disease, this evil creature, no one can go near you. And now he's just like, he's got you back on. Does that not say something like how desperate he is to have you back? Like, is that like after spreading all that hate, building up this big, nasty, brainwashing everyone about you, giving you this nasty reputation? Do you not get a bit pissed off about that? Because I know if someone did that to me, I'd be.
Good question, Louis. Yeah, that's when he did that to me and everything and stuff, but I kind of moved on now and accepted it, like, because it's Matrix Lord, of course, and stuff, and it's just, sometimes his attitude is, yeah, kind of off sometimes, but I don't know, now I just move past it and accept that he's an okay guy at sometimes, which he is an okay guy, but he just sometimes, like, I don't know if you guys if you guys know what I mean, but sometimes he can say things
He kisses your ass.
doesn't mean and stuff. If you know what I mean. Sometimes he just doesn't know what he's saying to other people and hurting other people when he doesn't know it. If you guys know what I mean.
I'm pretty sure he does know it. I think that's just part of his act. This I'm a good man act. He likes to create a fire and then go in and rescue the people and be like, I've saved. Like, he's a very vindictive person. But sorry, Mike, if you've got something to say.
And that's your opinion, Louis. But I feel otherwise. But good question.
I would like to ask Jacob a question. As far as like what you would call a friend, how do you define friend?
What do I define a friend? I define a friend loyal. How do I define?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I define a friend loyal, trustworthy, respectable, a good friend who looked out for you, and yeah, I know Matrix Lords from other side of the continent, but
yeah.
I love getting my opinion out about who. So otherwise, yeah, he's an okay guy, and he's sometimes those things. So I've got to say he's got some of those qualities in him.
So if somebody called you behind your back a fuckhead, what would you think of that?
I'd say get stuffed and throw some balls.
Okay, well, actually, we have proof that Matrix actually said that about you. So in effect, you just admitted to the fact that you would tell Matrix to get stuffed.
That's if you guys have proof, which I don't really think you guys do have proof. If you guys had proof, you would show me, but...
Actually,
yeah.
I believe we do, actually. I'm just asking you, because I'm curious. I mean...
Okay. Well, I'm saying Matrix Lord's a good guy. He can be stuffed in the head sometimes, like when he's being victimized by people like you guys. But overall, he's a good guy because he lets me, Daniel, and the rest of his good friends that have Matrix Lord's back
Well, can I just?
Let
Can I just
let us have our opinions.
I've got something about that. One of the people you mentioned in your thing then has actually recently, but me and him got speaking, and
Sure. Daniel.
they've said that they agree that they're actually being victimized on his cast, and they actually are going to come on my show this weekend because they feel that it's getting too much. So
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
that's a
And
bit of an interesting development.
yeah, can I ask Jacob, what do you think about the blatant disrespect that Daniel has been given in the past by the fake host on the show?
Daniel has been giving. Okay, I'm gonna say this, Connor. Daniel has been getting full on shit by David Bloody Anderson. Sorry to use your full name, David, but
No,
Darth,
that's
whatever
okay.
you call yourself. But
No, that's Jacob.
yeah, he's been
That's,
Daniel's been getting shit by him, and I back Darth Bloody Cinema, David, whatever you call yourself again. But I have Daniel's back, so you go up against Daniel. You have me to deal with. That's right. You have me to deal with, and I am calling you out on the Who Crew.
Jacob,
That's right. You have me to deal with.
Daniel, he agreed with what I said because I was a bit concerned after watching one of the broadcasts, whatever you want to call it, and I saw some really aggressive bullying. It looked like it was a playground and there was a bullying Daniel was saying some nasty comments, little digs now and then, very aggressive in tone, and I spoke to Daniel about it and he agreed with me. He never mentioned David.
Yeah.
No. Okay, this was all back in the past. What you're talking about, Louie, like with the everything show something or other. Daniel knows what I'm talking about. Daniel, if you're listening.
No, but that's wrong, because actually, if you watch many casts, you will see that the fake host has constantly undermined Daniel. He's always attacked his opinion. He's always made sure that Daniel's opinion has somehow less worth than everyone else's. Mike and I have been on the fake host shows for the longest time before, and I don't think I can remember a cast fully where Daniel has been respected in the way that he should be for the whole cast.
Okay, well, this week Daniel,
and I'm pretty sure.
Okay, this week Daniel actually said in the cast this week, Connor. Daniel actually said in the cast on an off-air cast with Matrix Lord Gloria and I. Actually, Daniel actually said that he's been getting victimized by David Anderson, and David Anderson has been telling Daniel to block me. And if he doesn't, he'll get what's coming to him, basically. That's what David Anderson is doing to Daniel. And basically, Matrix Lord has Daniel's back, so do I, and Gloria. And we don't tolerate Daniel getting bullied.
I've got to disagree. Fake host doesn't have Daniel's back. He never will. He didn't have our back.
The fake host does have Daniel's back because he's been
Jacob, hold on a minute. Let Connor talk. You know, we're respecting each other here.
Yep, sorry.
So, thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Connor.
Mike and I mean, I'm not blowing my own trumpet here. I'm not trying to exercise my ego. Have had fake hosts back far more than most in the community, if not all.
Absolutely.
Fake host has never once displayed any sort of sincerity, any sort of brotherly camaraderie towards us, in the sense where we could fully say that this guy has our back, because he's sly, he's slimy, he's vindictive, he's manipulative, he's a user. And
if I may, like, step in here,
yeah,
Jacob, I can tell you when fake hosts talk the most shit about you, and Connor can either agree or disagree with this. Only he and I know, and the fake host, because like we all talked off air. But I gotta tell you, man, I've heard like some of the worst shit spoken about you, Jacob, from your fake host buddy, quote unquote. And I actually had your back, and you're sticking up for this guy. And the sad thing is, you don't realize, and I understand why you weren't there, but speaking for myself, I have stuck up for you. I've supported you when this guy was talking the biggest shit about you, talking about saying you're fucked up and a fuckhead and how like you're crazy, and I sat there and stuck up for you, and you're sticking up for fake host while I did those things, but yet you have a problem with me. So I think you need to really take a step back and reevaluate kind of your standing with what's going on with your buddy the fake host. Just a little bit of advice so that you don't embarrass yourself, because it really, really, really makes you look really fucking stupid.
he seems to have dropped out, but I'm pretty sure if he doesn't come back in, I'll watch the rest of this. I need to remind him of a time when the fake host blatantly lied to him about the reasoning behind him not winning a competition, Who Idol. And I recall intense anger from Jacob about the choice that the fake host made, about how that entire situation panned out. Where
about the winner, because like Connor, you and I both know the fake host told us that his girlfriend did not want Jacob to be the winner of Who Idol. So what he did was he let his director come in at the last moment, at the 0 hour, if you will, and make a video so that he could ceremoniously award Who Idol to her, because fake host is so fucking pussy whipped by his girlfriend that he can't even be genuine and sincere and honest about his own fucking contest he had going for months.
Guys, can I just...
Yeah, go ahead, Louie. Yes.
I've just come back to put myself in pause for a sec. Where's Jacob gone?
He may have dropped out. I'm not sure why. It may have been like technical difficulty. I don't know, but we are going to continue at least for a little while talking about this.
Yeah.
What he's brought up. So go ahead.
Like, I completely understand where Jacob comes from. I think we can all agree we've been there before, thinking we're doing the right thing, sticking up for fake host, when in the end it's just kicking your own teeth.
And who more so than me, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like, out of everyone, you were the most loyal one. You just got... Yeah, it's just... Yeah. But, what was I going to say? Like, I just find it funny how Jacob said that he has his back for him and Daniel and other members. But he has his back when it suits him. Like, he only has their back when he needs to prove that he's this good man. And I think what I said earlier is, in my opinion, like this is my best way to describe him. He likes to start a fire and then act like the big good man and like rescue everyone. He'll start the shit, sit back, and then play victim. And it's very old. Like Jacob's saying, like he's changed. It was in the past. It's in the past. It's funny how like you can understand if you had a couple of trolls or whatever now and then, but I don't think there's been a time since like last year or the year before where there hasn't been an argument. He's not got someone on his back. He hasn't fallen out with anyone. You look through his shows, like you and Connor are probably the most consistent. The others have all gone. They've all seen the light and they've gone. And I think it's just really cringy how he plays like, oh, it was a mistake, it was this, it was that. He's dug his own hole, and he's got a lie in it.
Yeah.
And-
I'm not. Go ahead, Connor. Yeah.
Yeah,
No. Go ahead.
I was just going to add to the thing that Mike and you and I were talking about with Who Idol. I mean, let it be known that even Fake Host acknowledged that I was the one that exposed the truth. He didn't exactly say those words, but it was clear that he was saying that because he said that I was responsible for an attack on his girlfriend by he made it quite an assumption saying that it was Jacob. Shortly after the events of the whole exposure of why Jacob couldn't win Who Idol, etc., I let Jacob know the real reason, the reason where he wasn't being lied to, he wasn't being made to seem like it was a genuine sort of spin on the competition, because it really wasn't. It wasn't genuine. I mean, it was very much a motivated reason from the girlfriend and the fake host. And then of course, like I said, the fake host wanted to lie, and he wanted us to lie as well. And obviously, that didn't happen. I told Jacob the reason. So, if anything, I have been honest with Jacob for the last few months about things that the fake host have said about him personally, and I've always tried to make sure that Jacob is aware of the sort of animosity that is being displayed from fake host towards Jacob in private off-air things, just to make sure that that Jacob is not under the false illusion that he's completely out of the woods with the past that he's had with the fake host, and that the fake host completely forgives him in the way that he may display that he had on the casts. There's always been two sort of fake hosts. There's been the one that's always appeared on the shows, and then there's been the one that is very much in the private chats and the personal conversations between people, and the one that is prone to backstabbing, prone to manipulating situations to suit himself, and I think it's important that everyone, and that's why we've made this show. I think it's important to display the behaviour on the private, away from the cast sort of stuff from the fake host, because not everyone is seeing that. In fact, a very small group of people are the ones that are seeing that, and it's important that everyone does. And Jacob is one of them, because more than most, Jacob has been the one that has constantly been talked about in a demeaning way, in a, and I think I can hold my hands up and say that I've said some stuff in group chats with particularly you, Mike, and Fake Host, where it might seem less than genuine, or less than somewhat accepting of Jacob.
Less than flattering, maybe.
Yeah, less than flattering of Jacob. But with him, I would always be honest in that I would make sure that while I mean, I have never talked shit about Jacob where it's been something to the extent as, Fake Host has been exposed as saying, I've never called him a sick fuck. I mean, I often wonder why the constant rage in the group chat, I mean, why wouldn't anyone? I mean, it seems to be a rather spontaneous attack when it happens. It's the same with his friend Clark. But, I've never questioned his sort of character. I've never tried to openly character assassinate him like Fake Host has. I mean, like I said, I have said some stuff, and if it's been less than flattering, if it's come across as somewhat pompous, maybe if it's come across as, like I said, less flattering, then I apologise about that. But this is me being honest about that. That's something that Fakehurst leaves a lot to be desired with, and would probably never do himself. So I think it's important that we bring to light the stuff that Fakehurst does say, so that he doesn't have an escape route when it comes to having to worm his way out of talking shit about people, which he constantly tries to do. I mean, he's never apologised to Jacob for anything he's ever said, despite him being exposed. I have, when I've said stuff, I mean, not just about Jacob, about one of the hosts of the Who Show. I got a few things wrong about, and I apologised several times to them because it was a misunderstanding from my part on, how certain events or certain videos were made, including one quite prominent puppet on the other side. Yeah, we all know who we're talking about there. Yeah, I've accused him of stuff, and if it's not been clear in the chats when I have got it wrong, then my full apologies for that. But yeah, I'm priding myself, and I do pride myself on how sincere I am when I do get stuff wrong, which Fakehurst isn't. So that's the whole reason for this show, like I said, and that's why I think that Jacob needs to acknowledge that, Fakehurst has said stuff about him, less than flattering, more character assassinating, far worse than I can imagine anyone else in the community has. So, yeah, that's all I've really got to say.
All right, Louie.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just put myself in mute.
It's all right. Go ahead, bud.
Yeah, like pretty much what Connor said. I think the reason you're doing this show is to show the confidential, behind the scenes character that we all know and hate, and kind of exposing that. And it's kind of coming clear the more stories I hear and the more people coming forward. And if you look at his channel and his shows, like if you look at the first real boring cast, and then you watch the latest one, or you just watch through it and you look at the members, how many come and go, and how many come and go, but not in a way that they just don't. They're busy with their lives, or they can't come on. How many of them actually have to go through full blown arguments and like making all this big Who wars? And I hate to call it that because it's not anything about Doctor Who, and it's not a war. It's an argument. It's petty, but you see how many people people don't just leave. It's not a pattern. It's a pattern. It's not a coincidence, and it's just he blames it on old trolls. Not everyone can be a troll. If you trusted these people at one stage, you must have done something pretty big to piss them off to not even want to be civil to you. And I think like what Connor said, Jake was one of these people who he's fucked his life. He's tried to fuck up his online life as much as he possibly can, and I think everyone can agree on that. He's spread a lot of shit. So yeah, sooner he wakes up and realizes, and it won't be long.
So what do you think about all of these people who have left Fakehurst show over the last year? Do you think that's maybe just a coincidence that they did that? Yeah. What do you think about that, Louie?
I think I salute them and good on them for getting out quick and not going down with him. I think everyone who's on his show and anyone who ever will be on his show will at one point leave, and I can happily say that hand on heart, knowing that it will, from what we've seen so far, pretty much everyone on his show has had an argument at some point or will do. I think he's a big bully, really. He's a very paranoid person as well, so I think those people who've left, they might have been in the wrong, and I know lots of people who have been on his show and have been wrong about other things, but they were right about him, so.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I've got to say about that, really.
All right. Connor?
I've said all I needed to say, really.
All right. Well, you know what? Like, I don't want to exacerbate this like beyond like our 3-hour previous cast. So I do want to thank you, Louie,
No problem. It's a pleasure.
and I want to thank Jacob for being on here. I respect Jacob for coming on here, and he's always welcome on here anytime he wants to. He's going to have a platform to discuss whatever he would like with things. And I do want to close with the fact that I actually watched a couple of the new Matrix casts this evening that he put up earlier. And it's interesting to see that he's got Steam Turd on there, and he's got Steam Turd randomly picking people to speak with to come on the cast. I wonder where he got that idea from, Connor. What do you think?
I think that is from maybe guilt, but I mean we both know that he's been less than kind to Steam Turd in the past. I mean, like we said yesterday, he was a part of the getting him banned from that coffee house. He's called him a con man. You know, it's desperation,
He's
maybe a
tapped
bit
his
of
job
guilt.
as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Then get a job. I've got 24 jobs, 26, 4.
But it's rather funny to see that his lame attempt at humor, he has Steam Turd stop people randomly in a walkway to come on the cast. Cosplay girls, things like that. I wonder where on earth he got that idea from. It could have been like something we did, right, Connor?
Yeah.
Kind of just shows how desperate he is, really, for new members. Like, which one? I don't really watch his shows anymore. I'm not subscribed, but someone sent me one of his casts, and they said, "Look at this new guy that's on," and it was a real. Oh, I can't say it. The real Truvians cast, like 7.5 million or whatever, and it was ridiculous. They had a person on who didn't watch the show, never watched the show, and they wanted to talk about video games. And then he was like, "Oh no, yeah, he loves Doctor Who, don't you? You do?" And he's like, "No, I haven't really seen it." He's like, "Oh, yeah, he has. He's seen it lots. Yeah. What games are you playing?" And it's just like, it was kind of cringy to watch, and I felt sorry for the director on that class because they were just there like keeping the show going. But yeah, I think it's quite sad. If you watch, there's another one of his TARDIS Travelers or whatever you call it.
Yes.
That was very unsuccessful at launching its own spin-off series. That didn't really go anywhere, and he had like this random like IT guy that he just found at his work and just like interviewed him like, do you watch Doctor Who? He's like, I got this guy into it. He's like, I saw one episode. He's like, oh yeah, massive fan, and it's just kind of like, oh, it's a bit cringy when he thinks he's this his celebrity version of him strolling down the streets of New York with his camera out, like the world at his feet, and it's just kind of cringy. So
Yeah.
I don't know how he feels about that, but
Connor and I are huge fans of those casts where he's walking down the sidewalk for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, like giving an update about anything, Spider-Man, Avengers, whatever the fuck he's talking about. And I mean, those are fucking like fantastic. They're great.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
but
he's obviously not showing off that he lives in New York at all. Like it's an achievement. What an achievement! Wow. Wish
Yes.
I could. But obviously I'm not going to get a job or an education, so.
fantastic. And by the way, great taste in restaurants, steakhouse. You know, he's living in New York, and he's eating at Pizza Hut, Olive Garden. Like, come on, dude. Like, seriously, come on, man. You gotta have better taste than that.
Lasagna or us.
so, anyways, thank you, everybody. Louie, thank you again for coming on, and Jacob, thank you very much for coming on here. I respect, like I said earlier, that you came on. You were willing to go head to head with us with things, at least for a while. I don't know what happened. You dropped out there, so come on in the future, and I guess we'll see what goes on down the road. And I guess this is the point where Connor comes in and says,
Take care, fuck off for now.
"Thanks, guys."